I think there are a number of unique, cool elements to the Royal Rumble, which makes it one of my most look forward to wrestling shows every year. The randomness, the thought about who's going to be the featured player coming out of this, who are you building your road to WrestleMania around, right? So, like, lots of reasons that it's interesting. But another thing that kind of really stands out to me when it comes to the Rumble every year is how much you notice the theme songs. More than I think you do at any other time with any other show and any other company in a year. And it makes sense when you think about the Rumble matches, both men's and women's matches, right? You typically don't know who's going to appear and in what order. So as you're watching the show, one of the cues you're paying attention to, you're listening for, is when that wrestler's theme song hits. Because you will know, hey, it's number 15. It's Joe Hendry, right? And it's noteworthy that I bring up Joe Hendry as an example. Because even for a TNA guy, it was clearly obvious that those fans at the Rumble in Indianapolis knew exactly who the hell Joe Hendry was, and they believed in Joe Hendry. But it also illustrated something else to me. It was really striking. I know I'm not unique here, and I'm not the only one talking about it, but it really stood out to me just how is so many of the theme songs for these WWE superstars absolutely positively suck cock in an unapologetic way. I mean, for years I thought a lot of the theme songs were kind of bland and blah, blah, blah. But as I was watching the Royal Rumble the other weekend, it was striking how shitty these theme songs were. Now, certainly I'm not somebody that is watching as much wrestling as I did even 5 years ago, let alone 10, 15, 20 years ago, right? So I'm not as plugged in as I used to be. However, there's something to be said about I still pay some attention. I still keep up on things a little bit. So I would expect for some of your bigger name talents, at the minimum, that when their music hits, I know who the fuck they are. And I did it. Like, who the fuck is this? So many of the guys entered, and I said, who the fuck is that? I did not realize just how pervasive this problem is. And these Death Rebel theme songs absolutely fucking suck. Now, sure, some wise asses talk about, Jey Uso and his theme and how over that shit is. Okay, fine. They're going to talk about the Tribal Chief and his theme songs. Okay, fine. But this is one of these things where you're talking about a home run hitter that only hits 20 home runs in the season but strikes out like 230 fucking times. Like, that's not good. That means you suck. It's terrible. Time, I've sat there and thought, like, man, it sucks they got rid of Jim Johnston. But when I watched the Royal Rumble the other Saturday, it made me realize just how badly he's missed. And side note, why in the fuck is Jim Johnston not in the WWE Hall of Fame? Does anybody freaking know? Because as far as I'm concerned, he is, and this is no bullshit here, one of the most critically important behind-the-scenes figures in WWE and professional wrestling history. He is one of the most prolific composers and songwriters in world history. And if you think that's hyperbole, think about his run over 3+ decades and tell me where I'm telling lies. And maybe I'm spoiled and this and that, but I've been able to hear and see so many great wrestling theme songs and wrestling entrances over the years. And so many of the ones that I heard at the Royal Rumble were absolute driveling dog shit. Just dog shit. Like, I'm a tone deaf guy. I can't sing or write music for fucking save my life. But I can tell you what sounds decent and what's really catchy and has a hook to it, and what is fucking lame garbage that I wouldn't even be able to spew out because it is. And this is not a small deal, by the way. This is not just some random fanboy rant. Theme songs, the entrances for wrestlers, are every fucking thing. It is the introduction to the character. It sets the tone for who they are, what they're about, and what you should expect to see for them and from them. It is a critical storytelling component. When you look at main event Jey Uso right now, if you think that all he's got is the entrance and the yeet, that could be legit, but goddamn, he's got it, right? He's got you hooked from the very fucking beginning. When his song hits, you know who the fuck it is. And you could say, well, that's a Def Rebel song. Okay, how many of those Def Rebel songs that they've written do you actually say you can fucking know that? Like, I'm sitting there, and at one point, it's Finn Balor making an entrance, and I'm no Finn Balor fan. We know that, right? But goddamn, I would expect a guy like him and his length of time in WWE and wrestling and his kind of like subculture of popularity over the years, that he would be a guy that would elicit some type of halfway decent to nice ass reaction. And he got fucking crickets. Like, how do we go from epic, iconic, all-time theme songs for like Stone Cold Steve Austin, The Rock, The Undertaker, Mankind, D-Generation X, The Nation. How do we go from that shit to this shit we've got now? Like, even newer theme songs. You talk about John Cena, when you hear do and newer in terms of relative to like the 80s and 90s guys, right? But when that sound hits, you know who the fuck it is. When I hear voices in my head, you know who it fucking is. You get what I'm saying? It is such a critical part of the presentation. It is a key component that can help wrestlers get over. Like, I know it wasn't written by this Def Rebel group, but Cody Rhodes' theme. Like, when you peel back the entrance and some of that other shit, like, the main event stuff isn't there, but you layer in that theme song that engages the audience in the way that it fucking does, it sets such an incredible tone for his fucking character. Seth Rollins, same thing. When you hear the music hit, the crowd knows who it is, they know what they're about to see. Like, this is so critically damn important, and I can't understand for the life of me. Maybe it was one of those Vinnie Mac decisions. He thought Jim Johnston had lost a step, whatever. No, his fucking CFO and Def Rebel fucking suck. Boomer take, you want to call it whatever the hell it is. But I can't imagine for the life of me looking at the landscape of WWE and these entrance songs, these themes, and thinking that as a suite of songs, they're any fucking good. They're dog shit. Like, certain things are up for debate and different opinions. You think wrestler A is better, I think wrestler B is better. Fine. Certain things not up for debate. The overall suite of Def Rebel fucking theme songs for WWE are dog shit. If you don't agree, argue with the fucking wall. So at a time where you should be looking to build new stars and enhance your product, at a time where you've seen a little bit of an increase in your popularity, from Jump Street, you're doing so many of them an incredible fucking disservice. Like, so much of this music, and I'm not a big music head, right? But so much of this music feels like bland-ass, generic-ass country club rock. And that might not be the right way to describe it, but it is the way that I fucking understand it. Versus the theme songs of the past. I knew who the fuck it was. I knew what the hell I was about to see. And in a lot of cases, it got me pumped the fuck up. And especially when you're talking about the and their entrance music. It reeked of masculinity and machismo and strength and like ass kicking. And these theme songs by and large don't fucking do that now. They suck. Big felonious donkey dick. Like, why did you choose this group to do the theme songs? Were they cheaper than the last ones? Here's a perfect example of the corporate world. You outsource shit. Your results don't always get better. They might be cheaper, but in no way, shape, or form do they get better. It's often you get what you fucking pay for. And if you're going to say, well, actually it costs them more because they have outsourced it, then whoever was involved with that decision should be fucking fired. Because you're doing your talent a great disservice, you're doing your product a great disservice, you're doing the fans a great fucking disservice, and the wrestling industry, for crying out fucking loud, a great disservice. I don't know if I have ever seen an era of wrestling with shittier theme songs, especially in WWE. Just god-awful. And even the most positive of people have to admit that 90% of the shit that's put out there now for these WWE theme songs is just hot fucking garbage.